Hey there, Diana. You requested a cameo from me, so I'm so excited. And you're needing some advice for filmmaking. It's all you think about, and I've given you the boost that you needed to not be afraid. So I'm so proud of you. And I tell you what, girl, you have inspired me because you have just approached it with fearlessness and such creativity that I think that you should be pursuing this. Any thoughts that I have on filmmaking? I hadn't hit the big time either, girl. So you could probably help me just as much as I could help you. But the few things that I have learned, I've done a few short films, and normally the best amount of time for a short film is under 10 minutes. I think 6, 7 minutes is really ideal because what you want to do is, of course, have a beginning, middle, and an end of your story, and you can do it from your cell phone, your mobile, and do what you've been doing, experimenting with different locations. When you're writing, think about those locations because everything is money, and get your family and friends involved. So that's how most of us start out doing. I also think that you should connect with some other filmmakers in your area. You can volunteer to either be talent, part of their cast, or work a production assistant, a PA, crew position for free. People are always looking for volunteers, and that's how we usually start out. I also contact some of the local colleges, and if they have a film department, student films is a great way to learn and to grow and get your feet wet. And they need volunteer people. And then what happens is if you volunteer and you're either part of the cast of somebody's student film, or maybe you're a production assistant, or maybe you're helping with picking up pizza or whatever, feeding them. Then when you go and you need a crew position filled or a cast member filled in your film, then they owe you a favor. So that's the way people that don't have big budgets do it, is we help each other out and we learn from each other. And I think you'd also be great at theater. I mean, if you have a community theater, I think you would be great on stage because you have a lot of presence, and you have to have a lot of presence and energy to be good on stage. So that's an option. Let's see. When we're talking about the short, like if you make a little short film, what we would normally do is after it's been edited and you've gone through your post-production process, you'd submit it to some film festivals. And there are gazillion film festivals all over this country, all over the world. So you have to spend a lot of time in researching whatever your genre is of your particular film. Like if it's a horror film, then you're going to want to Google, the top 50 horror film festivals in the country or in the world or close to you or whatever, because if you do get in, you want to go. You can't go to them all, but maybe somebody else in the cast can go to one if you couldn't go there. But anyway, and don't set your sights too high. I mean, none of my projects that I have produced have ever gotten into any of the Oscar qualifying film festivals, which would be the top is Sundance, and then Tribeca in New York, and then South by Southwest would be third in Austin, Texas, and then Toronto. So, but then there are a lot of Oscar qualifying film festivals like the Florida Film Festival, the Atlanta Film Festival, and you can Google those too and just become familiar with those and save your money because film festivals cost for every submission. So, and then, if you get really, really lucky, somebody sees it, a filmmaker or a financer see it, and they're like, okay, we would like to produce and give you the money, finance you to make a feature film from your short film. But it's also just a good, I've never had that happen yet, but it's also a good way to network, and you meet different filmmakers, and you meet program directors of small festivals. I mean, I have been to so many small film festivals. I've been to them in the beginning. I went to film festivals where, there maybe were 4 people there. But you know what? I probably have stayed in touch with at least one of those people for the last 10, 20 years. So it's all good, and it's all a learning experience, and we're never too old, girl. And I just think that, at our age, you're at the point where you're not afraid to fail, and I think that's really cool too. So, and so I would start with short films and student films, and find your people in your area that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing, and yeah. Let's see what else. I think you're learning a lot about lighting. I mean, like right now, I'm doing this CAMEO, and I can go around my courtyard and find my best light. Let's see, that's a better light on me right there. So that's the way I should have been doing this the whole time. But then I can go around this way, and it's a little different light. But I don't know, it's kind of moody, right? So play around with it. Play around with the different angles of your face. You don't want to be shooting down here. Nobody likes to see up somebody's chin and nose. I mean, it's even better if you go up and film down. This is just with your phone when you're doing a cameo for your friend, or you're doing a selfie video. Just find what's the most flattering. And now that right arm's getting tired, so I'm going to put in this left one. I wish you'd just give me some questions. I could just sit here and talk to you all day because I love you so much. It's like, oh my God, Diana requested a cameo. This is so cool. So, yeah, being not afraid to fail, and just putting that vulnerability out there, I think is the biggest thing. And I know what I wanted to say. There's one of my favorite filmmakers to follow. His name is Stephen Bernstein, Bernstein, Stephen. And I think his Instagram handle is Stephen Bernstein, director, cinematographer, or something like that. But you can go on, see who I'm following. He is the best. He is so generous with his knowledge, and he's so good. And he teaches, and it's free on Instagram, and he's so passionate about it, and he's a great writer. He actually directed me in Walk Away Joe, that we shot opposite the fabulous David Strathairn. Oh my gosh. And I didn't meet Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but David was fantastic. Such an honor. But anyway, Stephen, he's got a new film coming out. But anyway, you got to follow him. I mean, you could go back. You could spend the next few hours just looking at his Instagram page and his different examples. And he's a master teacher is what he is, and just so generous. And I've learned a lot just by watching his stuff. And there's other classes and stuff online where you can learn. And like I said, the stage and theater, little community theater, little theater, I think would be great if you have time. I never have done that. That's a regret of mine. Maybe someday when I'm not, busy doing what I'm doing right now, playing Homeless Land and these crazy people that I get to play. Because it requires a huge commitment of time at night. And, when I had the kids and stuff, I just was not going to be away from my kids because I like to put them to bed and stuff. But, I still feel like it's important that we keep it all in perspective. And, acting and filmmaking is a passion of mine. It is my passion. Acting is my passion. And it's a big part of my life, Diana, but I still have a life. And I think that makes me a better actor. To have a life in relationships with people, and to have a little bit of something to have some balance in my life. But I mean, girl, listen, I would work 24/7 if I could. So I have to make sure that I keep a little bit of balance, and I'm staying emotionally and physically healthy and taking care of myself. And I hope that you're doing that for you too. Because you sure got so much going on. You got so much to offer, and you're just such a bright light for so many of us. And funny and beautiful, and you've got it, girl. So you just keep on keeping on and try to connect with your people, who are wanting to have a creative outlet, and send me some other questions. I could talk all day to you, but I love you, Diana, and thank you so much for reaching out, and thank you for all the support and friendship and love and creativity that you have shared with me and Lynn and Cobra Kai and our groups, and just the whole fandom world. We all love you and we thank you. Mwah. Take care.